Assalamualaikum. For this video, I'm going to talk about the Railway Children book as a book review. The Railway Children was written by EDITH NESBIT and was published by Wells Gardner and Darton, and the year of publication is on 1906. The genre is fiction, adventure and mystery. The number of pages is 174. Okay, so why did we choose this book? It is because it tells the story of a family struggling to get by in life despite their shortcomings, and it has also become a literature novel for high school students, demonstrating that it contains moral values that can be learned by people of all ages. For the place setting, it was a home in London, a little white house in the country that stands in a field near the top of a hill, where the place that they have to move into because of their father was caught. And the last one is the railway station. The cultural setting, the hi-hats and long coats and tea time. The social setting, it is around Edwardian times. Large heap of coal which steam trains used for their engines, and the telegraph as a communication media. Next, I'm going to talk about main characters. The main character, which is Roberta, or as known as Bobby, she is the eldest child in the family. She is 12 years old. She is loving, obedient, thoughtful, kind, helpful, hardworking, brave, clever, imaginative, loyal, polite, well-mannered, independent, adventurous, but unsure of what is wrong and right. While Peter, which is the Roberta's brother, the only boy in the family, he's a second child. He is 10 years old, and he is a proud boy, brave, resourceful, and generous. Mother, she has to take care of the family after her husband taken away. She loves reading books to her children, and she is also a loving, devoted mother, protective, brave, patient, and strong lady. The old gentleman, he has white hair and looks kind, knows government people, very friendly, kind, polite, helpful, generous old man. As for the summary, Roberta, also known as Bobby, Peter and Phyllis live in a comfortable home in London with a wonderful mother and father, as well as a maid. One day, their father leaves home with two men. He is actually taken away to prison, but the children do not know this at first. When he leaves and does not come back, they have to move to a poor cottage in the country, which is a rural area near a railway station. The children become familiar with the passing trains, the workers at the train station and signal box, and life in a small town while their mother struggles to make ends meet by writing stories. They learn to live with what little they have, and they get used to being poor. They also learn not to steal coal from the railway station, even if they have so little to keep warm. They have various adventures, which is stopping train when a landslide covers the tracks, finding an injured older boy in the train tunnel and getting help, while dealing with the mystery of their father's disappearance. Sometimes they argue and have crises, but in time they make many new friends. They also experience amusing adventures, plenty which happen near the railway and the canal. The children develop the habit of waving to the train as it goes past, and sometimes the people in the coaches wave back. Their friendly gestures forge a special friendship with one person in particular, who goes by in the train. He then eventually gets to know them. The person we're talking here is an old gentleman, and he helps them out in various way. Then one day a train sails at the station, and the children are pleasantly surprised to see their father. They are finally reunited.
So thank you, Afiqah. What's the book's main theme? Okay, there are two main themes I list here. First is the importance of family love and loyalty, and the second is taking challenges with courage. For the first main theme, the importance of family love and loyalty, there is a strong bond in the family. First is the mother was almost at home, ready to play with the children or read to them the books. And second, it shows when they also had a wonderful father who was never angry and always ready to play a game. And the last one, as for example, for the strong bond in family, it stated when the children did not forget about their father. For the second main theme, they are taking challenge with courage. Like for the first is the children risk their life to prevent a train accident, and they try to stop the train by standing on the railway line. It stayed on the page of 30 and 31. And the next is, it shows where the children enter the dark tunnel to look for the last hound in a red shirt. For the second is, the taking challenge with courage shows it when the Bobby was determined to make the train stop at the risk of her own life. She ran onto the line, waving her two flags. And the next one is, Bobby did not move from the line. She waved and waved her flag, shouting, "Stop, stop," as the big black engine came towards her. For the plot summary, we have four phases, which first is exposition. It's Roberta, Peter, and Phyllis are children of a fairly wealthy family. They live a happy and stable life with their parents in London. However, things change when their father mysteriously taken away from their home. Then the family moved to a country house near a railway line. For the rising action, the second phase, where the audience will, for the readers will feel a bit exciting. When the children have various adventures, first they discover a heap of coal at the station yard, Peter takes some coal home and stacks them at the back of house, but he gets caught by the station master. The children also sit on the fence waiting for the train pass by. They develop the habit of waving to the train as it goes past. Their friendly gestures make them one special friend, in particular, a distinguished old gentleman who eventually get to know them. Then, mother falls sick. The children seek help from the old gentleman. One day, they stop a train when a landslide covers the track by creating red warning flags to save it. These kind children even ask around the village for birthday presents for Perch, a potter. Perch is initially furious by his touch. When the children convince him the gift are a mark of respect. For the next is the climax. One day, Perks gives Bobby some old newspapers and magazines. She is horrified to notice a newspaper headline announcing her father's convictions and sentence. Knowing that he is innocent, Bobby resolves to rescue him. She writes a letter to the old gentleman. As for the following action in the story, the children continue with their adventures. One day, they watch a hare and house game that leads them to dark tunnel. One of the house fails to appear from the dark tunnel. The children go in to investigate. They find the injured hound or Jim and rescue him. As the resolutions for this story is when one day a train from London halts and Bobby sees a tall figure on the platform. She embraces the tall man who is her father. The family is reunited. As for conclusion, the summary of the story, the novel teaches us to be responsible, and it shows when the children are very responsible. All day they help the mother to unpack and arrange everything in the rooms. The mother is responsible to taking care of her children's welfare. For example, mother spent every day in her room writing stories. Sometimes she managed to sell a story to a magazine, and then there were cakes for tea. For the next one is, the novel also teaches us about benevolence and generous. As for the example that stated in the story, the old gentleman is very benevolent when he responds to their pleas for the things that the doctor said their mother required. He gives the children more than what they have actually asked for. Here, things you need, your mother will want to know where they come from. So, as I read this book, I will give a 5 out of 5 stars because highly recommend this book as it's just great for all ages and it has a way of offering lessons, if you will, without preaching. I've always liked authors who could do that. Okay, that's all from me and my partner Afiqah. Thank you for watching.